In the last 15 or so years, Drake has propelled to some of the highest heights ever reached by a musical artist. He's sold over 170 million albums, and if you look at just digital singles, he holds the #1 worldwide record. Many of his works have been critically acclaimed, and he's become a household name. Drake grew up in Toronto, Canada, and you might have heard that he's half Jewish or that he had a bar mitzvah growing up. But you may not know where exactly that Jewish ancestry comes from or where his family originated. Since it's his mother's line that's Jewish, that's what we're going to be looking at today. We're going to be taking available public records and tracing his maternal line, that's his mother's, etc., back as far as possible so that we can try to find out what town or village or region of the world his ancestors came from. I'm Yona Paley, and I believe genealogy is fun. And on today's episode, we'll be delving into the past of Aubrey Drake Graham and seeing how far back we can trace his ancestral line. He was born in 1986 to Dennis Graham and Sandy Scher. His father is an American musician who used to play drums for Jerry Lee Lewis, and his mother, Sandy, is Canadian and used to work as an English teacher. So even though he was born and raised in Toronto, because one of his parents is American and one is Canadian, he has dual citizenship. Now, Sandy is the daughter of Reuben Scher and Evelyn Brontman. Evelyn, who Drake was very close with, died in 2012. And it's here that I want to make a comment on the longevity of Drake's maternal line. Since Evelyn lived to the age of 94, and as we're going to see, that is not at all unprecedented. The very first record I could find for Evelyn was a 1921 Canadian census, where she's living with her parents Abraham and Lena, along with her 3 sisters. According to the census, both of her parents come from Russia. So now the question is, where in Russia did they come from? Luckily for us, Abraham and Lena's 1913 marriage certificate exists, and on it, it lists the names of Lena's parents, which are Aby Osherenko and Gertie Wienerman. So now we know that her maiden name was Osherenko, and we're going to take that information and try to extrapolate where that family came from. The Osherenkos show up on a 1911 Canadian census where Abraham and Gittel are living with their 4 children, Lena, Ida, Hyman, and Becky, all born in Russia. And luckily, through using some knowledge of anglicized versions of Jewish names, I was able to find the birth records for all 4 of these children. The town was Korostyshiv, located in the modern-day Zhytomyr province of Ukraine. There were 4 birth records, all children of Avraham Abba and Gittel Osherenko. Zlatalea, who was Lena, Chaya, who was Ida, Chatzkel, who was Hyman, and Rivka, who was Becky. I was able to find Lena's 1992 gravestone, which confirms this information and lists her as Zlatka, daughter of Avram Abba and Gittel, and the gravestone lists her age as 99. Which, since we have her birth record, I know to be a little bit off. She was actually 98 when she died. But as you can see, the longevity is strong with this one. Now, I mentioned just a little bit before that on Lena's marriage certificate, her mother Gittel's maiden name is listed as Wienerman. And looking through some more Ukrainian records, I was able to soon figure out that the original surname was actually Weinerman, and that Gittel had a brother, Aaron Avzi, and that both of them were children of Hirsch Weinerman. In Canada, Aaron actually lived right next door to his sister Gittel. And then in 1922, the family left Toronto and moved to Newark, New Jersey. Sadly, I have not been able to locate a death record that verifies what their mother's name was, but by finding one more piece of information, I was able to discover the town that the Weinermans are from. And that's what I want to share with you. On the birth record of one of Aaron's children, there's a small note that says Father Townsman of Luhini. Luhini is an urban settlement also located in Zhytomyr region, about 150 kilometers from Korostyshiv. So now the next time you're listening to Drake, you can sit with the knowledge of his Jewish ancestry and even have the names of some of the towns where his ancestors lived. And that wraps up this video. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. As always, I'm looking forward to bringing you more videos about famous Jews, as well as tips and tricks that you can use in your own genealogy research. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.